other, right? So I would really like to connect with you for today's session. And if you can, if the situation allows you to, please switch on your camera. It will give me the biggest support, and I can share with you as transparent as I can on my journey. Okay, thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to just give me a moment. Let me share my screen with you guys. Hold on. All right. Okay, good. Can you guys see the screen? Yes? Awesome. Okay, fantastic. All right, so I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about my past. Okay, so bear with me on this one. So how many of you as a child, you guys were all, very dangerous, everything also you're not scared of, you are like literally like crazy, right? But when you grow up, eventually you start becoming very quiet, and you don't want to talk much, and you suddenly, you know, conform to social standards that you shouldn't be like that, and then you become very very quiet, and then you just go into a nutshell, and you're like, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to do anything, I just want to just be me. How many of you guys were in that situation? Right? So the beauty of children, right? If you guys are married, you have children, or I just want you to go back to how you were as a child, right? As a child, you're not afraid of things. How do people actually get afraid? People get afraid from experiences. People get afraid from what people tell you to be afraid of, and things like that, right? So exactly like you guys, I actually was a very very extrovert kid. I wasn't scared of anything. I was the most notorious one. If anything goes wrong, goes missing, there's a fight or anything, you come and look for me. I'm the one who will always be creating the issues, right? But as I started growing older, because of society, I realized that I do not fit in. I'm not somebody who would have the most popular friends, or would even have friends and stuff. People started making fun of me at a really young age, and this is because I actually have atopic eczema, which is actually a skin condition. And what happens when you have eczema? Have you guys heard of eczema? If you guys know of someone who has eczema, or you guys have eczema as well, just type in the chat box. I'm looking at the chat box as well. So when you are very young and when you have eczema, it's actually very itchy. This is like some kind of things just crawling inside your skin, just wanting you to scratch. And at that point of time, my skin was so bad that when you scratch, it will bleed, because I was putting on a lot of steroid creams on my skin. And this was really, 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 affecting me, because when I go out, my friends' parents would tell them, don't play with this kid because it would spread to you. So eczema is not something that would spread, right? But this is what they would tell their children. And again, because of that, I actually got ostracized from my friends. And because of the scarring, because of all those bleeding, right, there will be a scar definitely over there. And it came to a point of time where my friends in school, right, on top of being ostracized, they actually took markers and they were actually drawing on my legs, like drawing the dots. That was what was actually happening, right? And at that point of time, I was like, I just didn't want to go out. I wouldn't wear skirt. I wouldn't wear shorts, because I don't want people to see how ugly my leg was. So I actually, put it in my mind that I am ugly. I'm not worthy. And, because of this, no one would actually be my friends and stuff. And growing up, I mixed around a lot with people who speak Mandarin, right? So that's one of the reasons why I speak Mandarin very fluently. And my own native language, which is Tamil, it is actually really very bad, right? So what happened is, when I was in school, and this is primary school, okay, I naturally have difficulties speaking my own in Tamil language. And my Tamil teacher was not very happy with me mixing around with a lot of people who speak Mandarin, right? So this is something that not many people know, but please don't go and tell my parents also, and also my teacher, okay? At the age of 7, because of fear, because of what my teacher would say, all right? I forgot to bring my Tamil spelling book, and I took the school bus at the age of 7, go to school, enter the school gate, and then I stepped out of school and I walked back home, crossing many huge junctions at the age of 7. So I cabut school at the age of 7. Okay, that was how notorious I was. But why I did that was because I was scared of what my teacher was going to tell me. And true enough, I mean, I had a hell of a whacking from my parents because of doing that. It's very dangerous and all these things and stuff. But when I went back to school, my teacher literally ostracized me and told all the students not to mix around with me. So because of that, I didn't want to study. I really hated going for Tamil class. Literally, everyone's homework will be this thick. My homework will be like this. Every day they'll be calling my mom and they'll be complaining, your daughter, yada, 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 yada. Every single parent-teacher meeting was a disaster, right? But something changed. When I was going in Singapore, we actually have a leaving school examination, which is called PSLE. So after 6 years, so you just imagine 6 years, all my other teachers had no issues with me except for my Tamil teacher. And because she really hated me, literally really hated me, I didn't like my own native language, right? And I remember very clearly on one of the lessons, she praised me. It was not really a full-on praise, but she was like, if she could do it, why can't you guys? And when she said that, I was like, oh my goodness, my teacher said something good about me. And I was literally on cloud 9. And at that juncture, from an F student, I worked so hard. I started sitting at the front of the class, doing my homework, and I got an A star for my leaving school examination in the language that I literally really screwed up for so many years, right? So I wanted to take note of this on how important recognition is, how important feeling good about yourself is, how important that one small little praise is when she actually did that to me, okay? But what happened after I actually went through primary school and kept growing and stuff, again I felt like I didn't fit in because my character is like naturally very bubbly, and then I became an introvert. I'm in a bubble. I am actually screaming to come out, but I do not know how to let this character come out. So I was bullied, and to a point of time where I was afraid of getting bullied, that I turned into a bully. Right? I was afraid of being bullied. So if you don't want to get bullied, you mix around with the kids who, cause a lot of trouble so that you protect yourself, right? So that was where I wanted to fit in, but I didn't know what kind of troubles will actually come to me from there. I had a lot of issues, most famous kid in the school as well, right? And, the irony of it is every single time there's a leaving school examination, my life will actually change. So during the O levels, right, I met into a very, very serious confrontation in school. And it was one of the life-changing moments for me when I realized that, family is very important, and people who are your friends, they may not have the best interest for you because they want you to fit into them, be it good or be it bad. I don't know if you guys have heard of, you are the 5 people who you mix around with. Show me your 5 friends and I can tell you how your life will be, right? So I was mixing around with very bad company. So you can imagine what kind of trouble I actually get myself into, right? And at that point of time, O levels, again, I was flunking very, very badly. And I got into this serious incident, and it was a whole transformation for me after that. And I became a very good person. Okay. Long story short, I wasn't bullying people anymore already. I was a very good person because I understood how important family is. I always am an innocent person inside. It's just that I want to fit into society. I want to fit into the social norms. I don't want to get bullied. I find myself in trouble, right? So again, from flunking my 4 years of studies for O levels, I managed to get 7 O level passes, and this is all God's plan, right? So after that, from the one of the most notorious students, I ended up as a teacher. Irony, right? I was the one that gave the teacher the most difficult problems, and I ended up as a teacher. I took up early childhood, and I was very blessed to actually, be sponsored by the company as well to do my diplomas. I did my degree as well. I sponsored my own self to do the degree. And this was very young, straight after O's. I was 16. I went into early childhood when I was 17, right? So whole life just changed. I didn't go to public university or things like that. I was working a full-time job, and in the evening, I was going to school to study, right? And karma, when you are the most notorious student, the kind of students that come to you is equivalently as that as well, right? So I was in the early childhood line at a point of time for about 7 to 8 years, all the way from 17 years old. I have no idea what is life. I've never partied. I partied when at the wrong age lah, but I wasn't partying where everyone is supposed to be partying. I was so caught up with work. I was so caught up with studies. I didn't have time for myself. Constantly chasing after the children in the school, doing lesson plans. I didn't have a time for toilet breaks. I was junking a lot, and I was, seeing my weight increase over a period of time. Does this sound familiar to some of you guys? Yeah, especially when you are at work. And how many of you guys are working? Just help me understand this. How many of you guys are actually working? When you're working, when you're busy, the least thing you think about is you. You only think about hitting your quota, hitting your work, no time to drink water, nothing, literally don't have. So what happened was I started seeing my weight just pile up. So the picture on the left is actually myself in one of the hospitals in Singapore where I'm actually going for an MRI. So what happened was, my immune system isn't one of the best immune systems since young. I've got atopic eczema, I've got sinusitis, I've got asthma, I've got blah, 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 blah. It just keeps going on, right? And because of no time, unhealthy snacking habits, stress eating, binge eating, and on top of that, when you are an introvert, sometimes you just overthink and you start going into a depression mode, and because of that, you will feel like, food is bae, like literally you just put everything in your mouth, right? So I started having a lot of health related issues. That was me at 24 years old, and I was so happy, smiling, right, wearing the hospital gown. I have no idea what I was thinking at back then. I was going for an MRI, and mind you guys, MRIs in Singapore is about $800 over for one MRI. So you can imagine how much of medical bills I was paying, right? And I started seeing my health deteriorate. It was to the extent that every single time I would take MC, and I was labeled as the MC queen, but I was not doing it because I was faking an MC, but because I legitimately was not well. And this affected my performance at work. And this also affected me because when my performance at work was affected, my boss doesn't really quite like me. My colleagues wouldn't like you. Your colleagues wouldn't like you as well when you're always not appearing at work, right? And at that very young age, I decided that, your health is an investment and it shouldn't be an expense, and you need to do something about it. I was sick and tired of paying to the hospitals money where I could have, done something to myself actually, right? So, when I look at myself in the mirror, I kept seeing this person where I really hated myself. I was like, you're only 24. Why are you so fat? And the worst thing is when I took the public transport, and I remember this very clearly. One of the child in the school vomited on me, so I had to go and buy clothes to change in. And at that point of time, I was like, whatever clothes I can get in the market, the pasar, whatever clothes I can get there, I buy, and I was on my way back home. And this bunch of aunties in the bus actually gave me a seat to sit down, thinking that I was pregnant. So they got me to sit down. It's fine, right? I was like, I have no idea what was happening. So I was like, okay, thank you, Auntie. And I just, because I was so tired already. But I overheard, and because I understand Mandarin, and I overheard this bunch of aunties actually saying, this one confirm shotgun. At such a young age, no life, go and get herself into this kind of issues and stuff. And at that point of time, those words were very piercing because I knew I had changed, and I've never been in that situation where I want to see myself in this. And when I came back home and I look at myself in the mirror, I was like, why did you do this to yourself? I wasn't a very obese person when I was growing up. I tried a lot of methods to lose weight, and because of that, I lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, and I was, rebounding crazy until I gave up, and I told myself, you know what, just accept you for who you are, and that's where the health-related issues actually came by. And because I was constantly battling this inside of me, whatever relationships that I was getting in, they were all toxic relationships. I literally was in relationships where I had to, put police report against my back then relationship because of harassment and things like that. So all this, it just keeps adding on so much of negativity here and there and stuff. So, every single time, I mean, yourself, your friends, your family members, you might hear them, actually say, I have no idea why is this happening to me, my spouse, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, things are changing and all these things. This is exactly what I was actually telling myself, but I didn't realize that this is because of me, because I didn't feel good about myself, because I wasn't the best version of myself, because I didn't love myself enough that I actually led myself to this. How can somebody give the same amount of affection to you when you your own self don't love yourself? Right? So I started wanting to find love from people, and I thought that is love. I thought, by them showing affection is love, but a love has a lot of other things inside it: commitment, patience, all these things. I didn't know any of that. So it's in and out of bad relationships. And eventually I was like, I need to change, I want to change. And I was going from diets to diet. I tried keto, paleo, intermittent fasting. I've tried countless network marketing products. I've tried slimming salons. I tried a lot of things. Again, gain weight, lose weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, and then became really, really obese. And then eventually I was like, I've chanced upon a flyer online. And how many of you guys actually got started because you met your coach online first? How many of you met your coach online? Very good. Hashwini says me. All right. So just like you, Hashwini, I met my coach online as well. Yes, Jeff, same boat. So I met my coach online from this flyer. And that's when I was introduced to wellness experts. And I was like, okay, let's try it out. I went down, and they were talking to me about 80% nutrition, 20% fitness and stuff. And then I saw Herbalife nutrition products over there, and I was like, this is exactly my face. I was like, I've tried so many methods to lose weight. I've spent so much to lose weight. How many of you guys were exactly like me as well, right? Tried so many methods to lose weight, spent so much of money to lose weight. And then there we are here again. Again, we're talking about, losing weight with products. I'm very skeptical. I do not know whether this is going to work and stuff. But at that time, I saw my coach had the results I wanted. I saw people there have the results I wanted. So who was I to actually judge that this program doesn't work when people legitimately had results? And I was desperate. I was tired of seeing the person in the mirror. I was tired of falling ill all the time and stuff, and I needed to change. So that's when I saw the results, I was like, okay, let's just get started with 1 month. But that 1 month that I get started, I was like, not because I really, really, really wanted to do this, but because I also wanted to prove them, if it doesn't work, okay, I'm going to come after you, that kind of thing, right? So I got started, and this is my journey, okay? So I only got started on the program on the picture on the right hand side, right? But if you look at my every year, I was just growing bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So I got started in 2014 at 78 kilos. And what made me actually say yes was also this. The Wellness Experts community was constantly talking about, empowerment, affirming me that I can do it, that I'm worthy and I should do this for myself. And this is something that the outside society doesn't tell you. I was growing up with people telling me you're useless, you can't do anything, you're a bad person, blah, 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 blah. And it was really affecting me. And over here, I met this community where they were telling me, Jay, you can do something for yourself. You can do something for your life. You can change your life. And it was something very foreign to me. At first, I was like, why is everyone so crazy? And why is everyone, I was going to a fit club. So everyone was like high-fiving each other. And I was like, am I crazy or are they crazy or what? And then I eventually, got in with that whole positive vibe. Again, you are the 5 people you surround yourself with, right? So I started becoming so positive. I started believing in myself. And, some of the things that really helped me come out from my introvert self before I show you all my transformation, right? Some of the things that helped me become out of my introvert self that Wellness Experts helped me was actually positive affirmations, right? What you tell yourself at the start of the day is actually very, very important. If you tell yourself that, again, all those negative words, that's exactly what you will manifest. That is exactly what you will become. But if you tell yourself, I can do this, I will make things happen, I am capable, I am powerful, I am love, I am appreciation, I am gratitude, I'm all this, right? You naturally become that person, right? So positive affirmations is so important. And if you guys want to know what are some affirmations, Google is really good on this one. You can go and type positive affirmations. There will be a whole list of them, or you can even write them on your own, right? And I used to write them down in like big papers, stick it all around my room. Sometimes I even write it down on my toilet mirror, and I'll say it to myself, when after my shower and everything, right? And it's also very important to actually put yourself in a community where everyone is so positive, right? You will never be able to walk this journey alone, because at one juncture in your life, you'll feel like you want to give up. But when you are in a community, just like all of you guys, especially those of you who were here for the workout from Coach Huili, right? You see that if I were to ask you to do that on your own, you would have 1,001 excuses. You would want to, I've no time, I've this, I've that, but actually you have time. But you would say that I've no time of this, I've got kids, all the excuses will actually come in. But when you have an accountability partner, or when you have a community where it's moving towards where you want to go, you will be able to reach your results, and you will step out from your comfort zone. You will move away from being an introvert as well, right? And also, you know, eating healthy is actually very important. Like most of us here, we are actually on the nutrition, right? Do you guys actually know, by being on the nutrition, by eating healthy, right? By eating healthy, it's like an expensive car, just like that car that you actually see over there, right? Your brain functions best only when there's premium fuel. You can't put the lowest grade fuel for an expensive car. So eating high quality food that contains nutrition, right? Vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and all these things, they nourish your brain, and it protects you from oxidative stress. And all this stress that is inside, right? It actually damages your cells as well. So a little bit of science class for you guys. So, you know, when just like the expensive car, when you put in petrol that is like the lowest grade, what happens is same thing for your body. Your brain actually starts getting a little bit damaged. The cells actually starts dying off, and eventually this will give your body a lot of um you know, negativity inside. All these things actually really matter. It actually worsens your condition, and at the same time it is also in relation to causing even more depression and anxiety. A lot of people don't understand this. The food that we eat indirectly affects our mood, right? And indirectly affects or aggravates actually even anxiety, depression, and all these things and stuff, right? And there's a lot of scientific things that you can find out. Just go on Google, you can find out on this one itself. So if you want to step out from your comfort zone and find the best version of yourself, you are on the right track if you have already started on the nutrition program. But if you have not, it's time for you to take charge of your health. Okay, so wow, so I actually got started on the program and I lost 25 kilos, and it has always been my dream as a little girl to, you know, travel around the world. And I always envied those air stewardess who would carry their trolley and they'll walk around in the airport and stuff. I'll be like, wow, I want to be like them. You know, they're so poised, they get to travel, you know. It's like my dream job at that point of time. So I was trying to go into the airline industry for years. Like literally, I still remember I was going for SQ interviews like 24 times. I tried Jetstar, I tried Emirates, I've tried Finnair, I've tried Tiger, I've tried Scoot and everything. So even when I was obese, I was trying. When I lost weight, I was trying, right? And eventually, right, consistency is very important. I managed to get into an airline, and I was flying. And you know, when you have eczema and you have scarring, it's one of the factors that will stop you from actually becoming an air stewardess, because they would check your skin and stuff, right? So because of me being on the nutrition for long term, my skin actually started getting better. So my scars were quite easily concealable with, you know, stockings or with a little bit of makeup here and there. So I was flying, and from an introvert person, you know, I don't talk to people, but because of the community, it made me open up. I was actually so confident about myself. I was challenged by one of my friends, you know, hey, you should just go and join this beauty pageant. And I was like, you know, I'm not tall. I am not the most beautiful person as well, because I don't really have a lot of characteristics of how a typical Indian woman would be at that point of time, right? And I don't speak Tamil much, and you're asking me to join beauty pageant where I have to speak in Tamil, and I don't look the part as well. So I was challenged by someone. I went in and I came out all the way to the finals. And I still remember one of the questions that the judges actually asked me was, what is your biggest success that you have in your life? And on stage in front of everyone, where if this was me before, I would have been like, sweating buckets and vomiting and stuff. I was sharing with the whole crowd, the audience, about my journey and why I wanted to actually do this, right? And eventually I won third prize for that one. I went into more pageants, and I actually won top 3 for all the 3 pageants that I went to. And I decided, okay, no more pageantry life for me already. So from there, it's been 8 years that I'm actually on this program. And as you can see, there's a lot of differences in the years that has passed from me being on Herbalife Nutrition and also with Wellness Experts. I saw a very curvy version of myself that I really, really like. I really like the masculine, feminine, curvy kind of body. That is something that is me. I found a fit version of myself by joining the Body Transformation Challenge. And are you guys ready for the most recent makeover project picture? Only if you guys type me in the chat box, then I'll actually show you guys, okay? So type me in the chat box and then I'll let you see my most recent one, okay? All right, so if you're ready, this is before and this is after. This is my most recent body transformation picture. I'm 31 years old. I think I still look so much better compared to a lot of my schoolmates who are my age right now also, right? So this journey has been so beautiful. I was telling you guys about a lot of my toxic relationships that I was in and stuff. Your love life, your family life and stuff, right? It's all about attraction. You attract the person you actually want to be with. At that point of time, I was attracting a lot of negativity and I was blaming everyone. I was blaming myself, and I was constantly in and out of relationships. But because of Wellness Experts and also Herbalife Nutrition and the community, when my mindset changed, when I came out of me being out from the introvert self, right, I attracted this gentleman. He's actually sitting beside me and smiling away. Right? I attracted this guy. And this was one of the first few pictures that we took together as a couple. You all know him as Coach Ben, right? So how we actually got to know each other was my coach posted a picture of my transformation, and he went into Facebook and he was, talking like, wow, amazing transformation. Then we added each other on Facebook and we were secretly talking to each other. And I fell in love with the fact that he was so different and he was so like me. And mind you guys, at this point of time, we have not met each other actually. And on February 14 of that year, he flew all the way to Singapore to surprise me because I have never celebrated Valentine's Day before, even though I was in different relationships. And when he proposed to me to be his girlfriend, I actually said no. I said no. I was afraid because firstly, I'm from Singapore, he's from Malaysia. I have no idea if this long distance relationship is going to work. And I had a lot of past and a lot of baggage. And I was very afraid that my baggage would get rubbed onto him and it will haunt him. But at the same time, I couldn't miss out on a gem of a guy. And the following day, I actually said yes. I said yes to him. And it was the biggest decision, best decision other than getting started on this program and being with the community. This is the next biggest decision in my entire life, because when you guys have the same mindset, right? Or when you change yourself to become better, you attract someone similar. And over the years, we have grown. And this is actually us right now. So you can see from kids, we actually grew to where we are right now as a couple. And we are actually wellness coaches doing this together as well. So my journey started from an introvert just wanting to lose weight, found the best version of herself, found the other half as well over here, right? And at that juncture, I was asking myself, what if I could help another person? And I always ask this question to myself also, what if somebody helped me earlier? What if somebody actually changed my life earlier? What would have become of me? Right? So when I got started and I lost my weight, my first 25 kilos, all I wanted to do was I wanted to help people. And I kept asking myself, if somebody helped me, would I have changed my life earlier? So I was introduced by my coaches to become an ambassador. And it was so easy because at the point of time, right? A joke for you guys, because of how big I was, the one that was so prominent that I lost weight was actually my butt. So a lot of people was like, how did your butt shrink? How come you actually lost your weight? And I didn't know what to do at that point of time. I was telling my coach, people are asking me, what am I supposed to do? All I did was I introduced them to my friends, to my coach. And a lot of people kept coming in. But why I wanted to be an ambassador also was because I could save my own program. I could save on my own program by helping more people and helping them get started on a healthier lifestyle. I could save up on my own nutrition. I could save up on my own program, right? And at the same time, I could lose even more weight because when I save more money on my program, I could invest that money onto other products that could speed up my results, right? So I was actually thinking on that as well. Save money, get faster results, right? And along the way, when people kept coming to me and they were like, Jade, thank you so much for introducing me this program. It's because of you and your sharing and your results, I could change. And I was like, wow, somebody's telling me I'm doing great. Like all these sort of people are telling me, I'm no good and stuff. And here we are. People are telling, thank you. And it felt so good. And eventually it became, an impact. I was impacting people's lives. People were coming to me and they were like, I want to be like you. These are words that were very foreign to me. These were really very foreign to me, especially when you're an introvert. You don't have much friends. You just leave the society behind because you don't want to get involved in anything. And then right now people are telling that you made an impact, right? So that was the beginning of how I actually got started, and that was how it helped me to get out from my introvert self as well. So when I got started as an ambassador, I did all of that because I wanted to cover my expenses. I wanted to lose more weight. I wanted to impact society. Eventually I became a part-time coach, and then I became a full-time coach. I left my job as a stewardess. I left my job as a principal in a school because I really wanted to achieve my dreams, right? So what you see on the screen right now is actually some of my whys, right? One of my why is I want to travel, and not as a stewardess, working and stuff and don't have time and everything. I want to travel and I want to go to every country, not thinking about finances. I can enjoy myself. I want to bring my family to go. That family picture there is actually my sister's wedding. I wanted to do so much for them because they've done so much for me, my mom and dad. And then I want to spend my life with my partner and not think about finances and not think about, what, when I talk about finances is I don't need to, calculate, oh, I can't spend on this because I have to save up for this and that and stuff. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to work in a 9-to-5 job where I was so tired from work. I come back, I don't have energy to spend time with my family. And when I thought about having my own family in the future, and because I work in the early childhood industry, I saw parents dropping their children as early as 7 to the school. And I'll be like, they're babies, they're 2 months old, and they're in school at 7 because the parents need to go to work. They need to do that because sometimes it's just they need to work to get income, right? And I ask myself, is this something that I really want? Is this, is this what I want my children to go through? And I reflected as a child, you know, whenever I wanted something, and my mom and my dad would be like, no, we can't have this because it's too expensive. So what the experiences that I wanted to build for my family, for my future family, for myself, for people around me, is things that it really pushed me to my why. And you know, health is your biggest investment. It happened to me, but this year it was something that really triggered me, right? So if you see that in that heart, you see a lifeline, that lifeline is part of your life. You will face ups and downs in life, work, family, relationships, everything, literally, even when it comes to finances and experiences and stuff. But it's so important in everything that we do that health is there. If you don't have health, you don't have money. You don't have health, you don't have experiences. You don't have health, literally a lot of things just go down, right? And this was the year that, you know, it really taught me how important health is. Because of this whole thing that happened, I actually lost my dad this year. And why I say health is actually very important, I have been on the nutrition for 8 years, right? So I've been on the nutrition for 8 years. And over that 8 years, I kept blaming myself. Why didn't I actually, you know, share about the nutrition to them earlier, right? So my parents are not exactly very young. They are reaching, my dad was almost 67 and my mom is 62. And you know, sometimes our parents, they can be a bit stubborn. Right? They don't want to you know, take all these shakes and all these things and stuff. But I did do a body composition scan for my dad, and I follow him for his medical appointments and stuff, and I know his visceral fat is very high. And you know, all of you guys here, I presume, are on your own journey of losing weight and getting healthy, right? But all of us also have family. And if you could change your family's health, and if you could impact them to adopt the same healthy lifestyle as you, what could happen to them? You could potentially actually prevent things from happening. And when my dad actually suffered a stroke in the month of January this year, and when he had his stroke, I was very grateful that because as a wellness coach, I work from wherever I am, not because it's work from home, but because of being a wellness coach, I can literally work wherever I am. I was at home when he had his stroke, so I could react very fast, so I could bring him to the hospital and stuff. And we had one of the trainings from our doctor in Herbalife Nutrition, where he was actually sharing about how to prevent heart attack and stroke. And I was in the ICU attending that training. And when I heard this, it was a huge slap on my face. Like I could have done more to help him, right? So I mean, he eventually passed on the following month, and I knew that I couldn't do much. I could have, but I didn't. And at that point of time when he was about to pass, I couldn't do much. But I took it upon myself to actually, you know, I still have my mom, I still have my sister, I still have my brother-in-law, my husband, no need to say, like, he's already on the nutrition and stuff. But you know, because of me starting off ambassador, because of me actually being a wellness coach right now, on top of me actually earning income as a coach, that's my job, right? But because of this gift of nutrition, every single month, I ensure my mom, my sister, my brother-in-law have their nutrition. And I don't even take money from them. I buy the products and give to them. Wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't start out as an ambassador, right? So for those of you who are clients, you are consuming the nutrition on your own. What if you can actually reduce the cost of your own products, and you can actually take that money and buy products for your parents, your husband, your children, to actually help them to get better health, right? So this is one of my driving force as well, that made me, really want to just talk to people and help them just get healthier and happier, right? So it's time to actually do something. If you stay in your position and you keep telling yourself, I want to change, but I don't know how to change. And when there is an option given to you and you are like, I don't think this will work and things like that, exactly what you tell yourself is what will happen to you, right? And as it is right now, we understand how important health is thanks to the pandemic, right? You need to do something for yourself. If you really, really, really want to change your life, reach out to your coach, follow the program, get your goals. If your goals is to lose weight, if your goals is to gain weight, if your goals is to get healthy, or if you are an aspiring ambassador who wants to learn how to become a part-time coach by helping your friends and families, go and reach out to the person who invited you here as well, and share with them what is it that you actually want to do. Actually, all of us have an introverted person inside of us, and we also have an extrovert inside of us. It is experiences and society that actually puts us into that situations over there, right? So I want to leave you guys with this one thought over here. Who have you not shared the gift of nutrition to? Whose life you can potentially help by you opening your mouth and sharing? Are you going to be the person who keeps quiet and let things just pass by you? Or are you going to be the person that's going to make a change? Right? So thank you so much everyone for actually hearing out to hearing my story. And I really hope it has helped you guys. And if you guys want to ask me any questions, you can unmute yourself and you can ask questions, and I'll be more than happy to help you understand a little bit more.